If Satan took a shit between Toronto and Niagara Falls, he'd name it Hamilton. And that shit, still warm, still burning, still getting walked around like it's not real. Tent cities, needles, graffiti. This isn't satire. This isn't a skit. This is Hamilton 2025, and the future is bleeding. While city slogans whisper revitalization, the streets are screaming something totally different.
Brazen daytime shooting in Hamilton's core, claiming the life of one woman and sending a man to hospital.
You know, down the street, you don't know if that person's gonna pull out a gun and just bang, shoot you.
A woman shot broad daylight right before art crawl. Downtown, full of families and bullets flying like flyers on election day. She wasn't the target, she was a bystander. But in this city, everyone is.
I stood before you to share with you the heartbreaking news that an innocent young woman had lost her life at a senseless act of gun violence. In July, we had a second innocent victim, Belinda, experience the same, and a stray bullet struck her as she waited for a bus.
We're not talking about Gotham, we're talking about Gore Park, and the blood's still on the sidewalk. Hamilton used to be where steel got made, now it's where dreams go to rust. And the people in charge, too busy designing a new logo while kids walk past crack pipe. You think I'm exaggerating? Think again.
Even on the way to the park, there's an encampment just about 200 feet from Gage Park. I've seen everything from shotguns being recovered to fires, prostitution, and certainly drug use on a daily basis. I have a 4-year-old daughter with my wife. We certainly don't feel safe anymore bringing our child to the park.
Shotguns recovered near playgrounds, needles in the woods behind daycares, gas station sinks used daily for baths. Welcome to Third World Ontario, where the taxes are Canadian, the problems are American, and the silence is global. Meanwhile, housing is a horror film, $1,800 for a 1-bedroom with roaches, wages frozen in 2015, landlords evict, slap on a coat of eggshell white, and double the rent by Monday. Affordable housing is a joke. The punchline, 2,000 people sleeping outside in -30. While 600 Airbnbs sit empty with fresh towels and no tenant.
The city of Hamilton reports over 1,500 people are currently homeless and over 300 are currently in encampments.
Are you mad? Good. Let's make it count. First person to reach out from this video and sell a house with me, I'm giving 100% of my commission, either to you or to a Hamilton charity of your choice. Every dollar back in your pocket or back into the community. You choose, I won't judge you either way. Click the link below, grab my seller guide, text me the word charity to enter. No home to sell, no problem. Hit the link, make a donation to one of Hamilton's best charities. Feed kids, mentor kids, show up where the suits won't. Now back to the butthole. You know who didn't stick around to help? The federal department. One of them shut their office here. Quietly, no notice, and why? Because their staff didn't feel safe walking to work. Not a rumor, not a Reddit post, a public record. Even the government dipped. But we stayed. We work here, we raise our kids here, and we're the ones paying for the potholes and the PR. City Hall calls it a multi-stakeholder approach. We call it paralysis by PowerPoint because people don't need a press release, they need a roof and a reason to stay. We've got more ribbon cuttings than rehab beds, more murals than mental health funding, but sure, let's add another bike lane because branding's cheaper than help. Some nights this place doesn't feel like a city, feels like The Walking Dead. No script, no safety, just survival. Hamilton doesn't need more task forces. It needs a damn rescue team. Downtown used to be a destination, now it's a dare. Want a coffee? Better check for bullet holes first.
Shortly before 5:30 p.m., a brazen daytime shooting in Hamilton's core, claiming the life of one woman and sending a man to hospital.
The downtown used to feel like home. Now it's Gotham, but without Batman. It's not just buildings falling apart, it's trust, it's belief, it's identity. And once that's gone, you can't renovate it back. You think this place is just struggling? It's being held underwater and told to swim. Every press release is another cement block. Every "we're working on it" is another 6 months of rot. Parks used to be playgrounds, now they're war zones. People used to jog, now they don't walk their dogs without pepper spray. If this isn't crisis, what is? But not every story ends in decay, because in the middle of all that chaos, a man pulled a homeless person out of a burning tent, risked his life so someone else didn't lose theirs. No press conference, no medal, just instinct. That's Hamilton too. And when fire broke out in a downtown building, it was the Hamilton Fire Department running towards the smoke. Not for politics, for people. Same with the paramedics reviving overdoses in the snow. Same with officers pulling weapons off the street, not for clout, but because someone's kid plays across from that alley. We've got high schoolers learning CPR just so they can bring someone back during their lunch break.
To ensure that high schoolers are able to recognize if someone is experiencing an overdose.
Meanwhile, the city's working on another rebrand. Because if you rename the fire steam, maybe the smoke disappears. Let me be clear, this isn't a housing crisis, it's an urban hospice. The city isn't growing, it's gasping. But while we wait for another savior, the only thing moving are the U-Hauls. Good people, they're packing. Good families fleeing, small businesses disappearing under graffiti, theft, and silence. And the ones who do stay, they're surviving, not thriving. They're not making it work, they're making it through, barely. And let's talk about that silence. The kind that creeps, the kind that kills, the kind that lets an entire city rot because no one wanted to say, this is BS. Hamilton isn't in decline, it's in denial. The city is trending, not for waterfalls, for crime, tent clusters, for shootings. And you know what's even worse? The normalization, the apathy, the meh and the meth that's just Hamilton energy. That's what kills cities faster than bullets, when no one gives a shit anymore. And when people do care, what do they get? Ignored, redirected, rushed off like ash from a fire that's still burning. They cry out, help us. The answer, we're still reviewing our options. We've launched a task force. We're having important conversations. Translation, we're doing absolutely nothing. You ever look up at the escarpment? That's not nature, that's a warning. You know who's not reviewing anything? The streets, the shelters, the families losing their kids to a system because they couldn't pay rent. Hamilton isn't a project, it's a bleeding patient. And every delay is malpractice. Every wait list is a slow death. Every strategic plan is a coffin with branding. The system isn't failing, it's functioning exactly how it's designed. Ignore the poor, evict the loud, gentrify the rest. But I didn't make this to rant. I made this to flip the switch. Because under the decay, stealing the families that stayed, the kids that hustle, the barbers, the moms, the teachers, the coaches, the bus drivers, that keep showing up while everyone else is ghosted. The ones who don't post about community, they build it. And don't get it twisted, this city fights back. When that encampment fire hit, it wasn't a city official who showed up first. It was a stranger, barefoot, pulling a man out of a burning tent while the nylon melted around them. No mic, no budget, no delay. That's the hammer. When paramedics reversed their 18th overdose that week, they didn't stop to ask if they had the city's approval for funding. They just saved a life, again. And when firefighters ran into a boarded up home to pull out 3 kids before it collapsed, they didn't check for applause. They just ran. That's the Hamilton nobody reports on. The one under the rubble, still breathing, still swinging. You think I'm doing this for clicks? I'm doing this for the kid who eats once a day and thinks it's normal. We're doing this for the mom who skips meals so her kid doesn't have to. We're doing this for the single dad who can't take his daughter to the park because it feels like a prison yard. We're doing this for the volunteers who bring hot meals to the encampments in the freezing cold wind. Not for credit, but because someone has to do it. We're doing this for the nurse who clocks out of the ER and hands out gloves to people outside the hospital doors. Here's your chance to make a difference. Be the first to text me charity, and 100% of my commission either goes back into your pocket or goes to a Hamilton charity of your choice so we can actually work on fixing this mess. No gimmicks, no delays. You sell, I give it all away. That's how we fight back. This isn't charity, it's a counterattack. It's saying, not on my block. It's a flag in the ground. It's refusing to let the city go quietly. You want to help? Don't post a black square. Don't tweet another platitude. Fuel the mission. Be the reason Hamilton still has a pulse. Link in bio, my cell's below. Don't scroll, don't wait, act now. And if you don't have a house to sell, send a few bucks to one of Hamilton's most impactful charities. The link for that is below also. You're not watching a housing doc, you're watching a wake-up call. And if you've made it this far, you're either part of the problem or the pressure. We don't need hope, we need pressure. Pressure creates diamonds or it explodes everything. We're not here to raise awareness, we're here to swing. This city, it's called the Hammer for a reason, and it's about to remember what that means. Because the fix doesn't come from Queen's Park, it comes from block to block, from person to person, from people like you watching this, nodding your head, but not moving your feet. It's time to move them. Final warning, don't dismiss this as drama. Don't scroll past the trash and tell your friends that's just the way it is. Because Hamilton's not dying quietly. It's getting louder. The hammer still has heat. It has soul, still a spine. In this video, it's not the end of the story. It's the start of a reckoning. Text charity now and let's make a difference together.